Today's TrueFire artist spotlight is Mike Zito. Mike Zito, a powerhouse in the world of blues and rock, has carved a niche for himself with his distinctive guitar style and soulful vocals. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, Mike's musical journey began at an early age, and by the time he reached adulthood, he had already established himself as a force to be reckoned with within the local music scene. Today, we'd like to feature 3 free lessons from Mike Zito's courses: 30 rootsy acoustic rhythms you must know, Take 5 Swamp Blues, an exclusive performance from his new course, Blues Rock, Fire and Flair.
Rhythm 15 is Americana roll. Back to a big strumming pattern here. This actually has a little bit of a progression to it. We're going to work through an A chord and a G chord. Play one of my favorite big acoustic chords, an F sharp over D. It wraps back around. Very useful. You're going to dig it. So let's take a look here at Rhythm 15, Americana roll. What I'm doing is I'm working with the drum beat here. Simple chords, simple progression. A chord, G chord, one of my favorites. Okay, that there is an F sharp over D. I love it. Again, we are going to stick with this idea of economy. Try not to move our hands too much. So look at this. This left hand's not doing a lot of work, but we're really getting a lot of changes in there, okay? Right hand is just strumming 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... And 1. Now, one thing I want to mention is I'm doing some muting. Using my thumb, it's coming over the fretboard here, touching the low E string. And that, when I play the A chord, if I hit it, I'm not getting a note. Okay? I'm also not really getting the high E or B. It's really just a 3-note chord. Just the A and the D and the G string. Like that. That muting really allows me to continue to strum through with my rhythm and just keep the notes I want, discard the notes I don't need. Now, the way I'm playing this G chord, I am not playing the open E string, although you could, but I'm not. So that's getting muted with the side of this hand. And the way I'm playing it here is, rather than this nice, happy G chord, it's kind of a suspended major. Again, with or without the open E. And it's so I can make that simple transition. This note right here on the B string, this D here, it's going to stay for the G and for the F sharp over D. And that's what gives it that droning Americana sound there. Again, with the theme of all these patterns, you're using some drone notes and you're moving some other notes in the chords around those notes. It makes for, once you learn these patterns, they become a part of your playing. It makes for such simple chord changes without having to move your hand a lot. You're going to be able to really add some different sound to your playing, some accompaniment. I think you really enjoy it. This is a good one. Let me show you one more time. Good with drums, it's good on its own, it's good with a lot of different rhythms. Get in there, learn these chords, and write a song with this. All right, so this is based on a song called Fever for the Bayou by Tab Benoit. It's probably 10 or more years old now. What I remember liking about it is it's got a Cajun beat, which is another part of swamp blues and swamp music. Swamp pop is a combination of Cajun music, and when you've got Cajun music, then you're talking about accordion. So guys like Tab Benoit and Sonny Landreth are playing accordion licks on their guitar. So when I first heard this song, he's recorded, it's just guitar, bass, and drums. So I'm not really playing it note for note what he's played. We're just kind of fubbing through and using that as an idea here for swamp blues in general. The drum beat is kind of a Cajun boom, bump, doot, doot dance beats, and it's in the key of E. Got the tremolo on slightly, tones a little more overdriven to give it a little more flair. So I'm playing single notes. So it's in E, but the hook line there is that melody there. See, and I can hear the accordion. Fa-fa-da-doot, doot, 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 doot. I mean, you've heard that if you've heard Cajun music, that's in it. So we're playing kind of like a swamp chord melody, so to speak. It's an E chord is the bass here, sometimes a 7. So that line there comes right down on the 1. In fact, it starts before. It's ba-ba-da-doot-boom, right there. So I'm on the high E string, and I'm going to slide onto the 4th fret. That's the first lick right there. Okay, so let's look at that. It's slide, 2nd fret, and then a pull off. That's all in the E major pentatonic. Second part of that is open B string and then G string on the 2nd fret. One more time. Let me try it again for you. And then open G and a hammer on the 1st fret. All right, it's a quick hammer-on. Whole idea here is this is being played to the rhythm, and it's pretty quick. So you want to take your time slow and get the notes right. Then we'll get into the second part. So one more time. Just like that, a little quicker. See? But it's faster than that. It's so it's leading with the melody. And then you're going to go to some chords, some rhythm work. And so that melody gets kind of ghosted through the changes. So the changes to the song are 1, 4, and 5. Just like the rest, it's E, A, and B. But again, like this course, looking at a simple chord pattern, but this is a really different rhythm than any of the other tracks that we worked with. And it's faster, and you've got this Cajun beat, all kind of based around dancing. And you're leading off with melody, because we're kind of doing this accordion fill at the front, and then we're going into the rhythm part. So it's unique, another unique swamp blues idea that we're working with here. So we've got the intro lick. We'll call that, like, say, the head. Right there, then, we're going to go into some rhythm work on the 1 on E, and I'm really just playing just a 2-note E chord, a little double stop. I'm playing the second fret of the D string and the first fret of the G string. Right there. Just that. I might do a little hammer on. When I'm doing this, I'm just going to a little A chord, a little same strings, D and G, but I'm going. Hear that movement? Just like that. So let's go. Play it again, and it turns to the 4 now. Now we're going to go to the A. So what I'm playing here, this is really kind of what would be, I wanted to make it a little more involved, have a little more licks that we could work with. So maybe you wouldn't play all of these the whole time through the song, but like it's a great intro or kind of the solo motif that we come back to. So instead of going to just an A chord, we're going to go. So you're going to play this little 2-note double stop on the G and the high E string on the 9th fret. So just to give you a reference where this is coming from, if you play... There's a little major scale in harmony, double stop on the guitar. If you like that sort of thing and you haven't quite worked that out yet, you can go back to my Blues Americana course, my initial course on TrueFire that covers all of the things I like to do on guitar. And I work extensively on double stop scales and things you can play. So I'm working out of this in A. So when we go to the 4, I'm going to the... That's all I'm playing. The B string is muted. How is it muted? How are you not playing the B string? Funny you should ask. The meat on my finger here, on this finger that's holding down the 9th fret of the E string, is magically touching the B string, but it's not fretting it. It's just touching it like this. See, look. Now it's open. Now it's not. So that's what I'm doing there. Or sometimes this finger's laying over it, but I'm muting the B string. So we're going to go back to the 1. So it's just a cool way to... Now I was doing that a couple of times when I'm going back to the 1 in the same idea. I'm working off a double stop. So in E, if I'm in E, which we are in E, here's the same... 4, 5, 1. It's using a lot, all great Americana music and country and Cajun, and it's just a really fun way to play. And so the way that we're approaching this is right now just kind of guitar, bass, and drums. So we're emulating other instruments, like I said, the accordion and fiddle. So we go to the 4, and then the 1. See, that almost sounds like... It's just another kind of variation to get back to the 1. When I go to the 5, I'm playing just a straight up 2-note double stop on the E and the B on the 7th fret. Just a little, Chuck Berry, I guess, to say it, but, And you see I'm sliding in. and going back into that melody. So let me just play it through one time a little slower for you. And you kind of hear where I've put these together, and then we'll talk about some of the variations. So it's like 1, 2, 3. We're on the 4. Right? So it's in that realm right there. That's a lot of chord melody there. We're working with this Cajun melody, this swampy dance drum beat, and a lot of cool licks in there. You know, to me, a lot of cool that you could take and hopefully, separate and find your own. A lot of variations you could find that you can play and utilize in a lot of other songs. So that's one thing. Now I had some different variations where I would go with this song. Say maybe that melody part is kind of the head. It is in the original song, but I wouldn't necessarily play that intricate, say, over while I'm singing or while a singer is singing or while a saxophone is playing lead. So you might go... something like that. So to me, that's like, Cajun blues. That's swamp blues right there. And that's something I learned from watching Tab and playing with Tab, doing these kind of walking bass lines with the bass. It's just major, pentatonic. If you need to slow it down, think of My Girl. And that's what kind of gives it the Cajun flavor. We're not kind of really playing the bluesy notes. It's real major. It's real kind of happy sounding. Going to the 4, going to the back to the 1, 5. Go back into the head and play the lick, bring their attention back in. And so you can intertwine all of these ideas. You can mix them up. You can go to the 4 and go. Go to the 5. See how all that stuff works? That's what I want you to take away from this. Is take away the... Take all of that there and make it yours. Move it around. Try it in a different key. That's what, learning these licks note for note and playing this is where we start. But I need you to take it and go away with it and then put it in other music that you play or write. That's what makes it fun. That's what I hope that you're getting out of the course when you're working with swamp blues. So one more time, just a little play through some of this for you. This is, again, based on Tab Benoit's song, Fever for the Bayou. If you've never heard of him, check him out. He's definitely a modern swamp blues hero. He's a great guitar player. He's great songwriter, and very intricate. This is not, although some things he plays, depending on the song, is very simple and very effective, but this tune is... a lot of muting there, very rhythmic. Bow, 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 bow. Right? So work on those licks. Work through playing... alternating between some of the chord melody, accordion licks, and going back to the straight rhythm, and work on this major pentatonic, which goes straight to the 4, the same to the 5. You know, work with those bass lines, incorporating that in your playing, along with some of these licks. And man, it's a lot of fun to play. If you can get it up to speed with, with the track and fast. I mean, that's one thing about like Cajun songs, that they're fast. And I wanted to incorporate one fast, upbeat one for you to, if this is not quite at your level, you've got something to work at. And if you already advanced, then you're like, okay, good, I've got, I can do this. And I think that you'll start to develop, some of this swamp blues characteristic and some of this technique. And hopefully it becomes a part of your playing. The whole point of visiting these different styles, very selective, niche of genre, blues genre, is to kind of dive in and go, well, what makes this swamp blues, or what makes this, different? We're using tremolo, we're using chord melody, and I hope that you've enjoyed working through this as much as I've enjoyed playing it, and that some of these styles and licks become a part of your style.